Welcome to today's explainer. You know, right now, the solar market in Pakistan is just incredibly confusing. It feels like every time you open your phone, social media algorithms are pushing wildly misleading information, and let's not even get started on the rapidly changing government policies that are leaving consumers totally lost. Well, today we are cutting straight through all that noise. We're going to demystify exactly what's happening with pricing, untangle those confusing new grid policies, and expose the latest market scams. We've got a lot of really fascinating ground to cover, so let's just jump right in.
Okay, let's dive into this first massive claim. You have almost certainly seen thumbnails or videos screaming this exact quote at you. The narrative going viral right now is that the solar era is completely dead, imports have somehow come to a total halt, and there's some magical, completely free alternative that's going to eliminate your electricity bills forever. I mean, it's the ultimate clickbait, right? People are desperate for relief from their high utility bills, so they click. But as our source material reveals, this narrative is completely false. The solar era isn't ending at all, it's just shifting.
Now, the folks pushing these viral myths love to point to a very real, very specific number to back up their claims: 61%. They argue that solar adoption has plummeted by 61%. But honestly, that is a complete misinterpretation of the data. This number actually represents a 61% drop in net metering applications, not a drop in actual solar installations. People are still buying solar panels at a record pace. They've just stopped applying for the government's specific net metering program. And why is that? Well, it's because the policy changed, and as we're going to see in a second, it just doesn't make financial sense for the consumer anymore. So here is the reality check that completely shatters that whole solar is dead myth. The market has recently seen the import of a staggering 3,000 megawatts of solar panels. Just think about that kind of volume for a second. Investors and importers do not bring in that massive amount of inventory just to let it sit in a warehouse gathering dust for 5 years. They're bringing it in because it is selling, and it's selling fast. Solar adoption in Pakistan is actually accelerating, not slowing down. Panel prices are currently quite favorable, and the market is very much alive. It's literally just the way people are using solar that's fundamentally changing.
Section 1. The Net Billing Trap.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what went wrong with the grid connection. If solar is booming, why are people abandoning the traditional setup? Well, the harsh financial reality is the transition from net metering to what is effectively gross metering, or net billing. Just look at these numbers side by side. During the day, when your panels are pumping out excess power, the government buys those extra units from you for a mere 8 rupees each. But at night, when the sun goes down and you have to pull power from the grid to run your home, the government turns around and sells that electricity back to you for 50 rupees a unit. It's no longer an equal swap. You're selling your power for pennies and buying it back at a massive premium.
Let's actually walk through the real-world math for a standard household. Imagine a family running a 10-kilowatt system and operating a couple of AC units at night. Let's say you have a fantastic month and export 1,000 extra units to the grid during the day. At 8 rupees each, you earn 8,000 rupees. Sounds great, right? But then, over the course of the month, you end up using 500 units from the grid at night. Because of that painful 50 rupee price tag per unit, your nighttime usage easily wipes out all of your daytime earnings. So even after dropping 1.2 to 1.3 million rupees on a pure on-grid solar system, you are still left staring at a monthly bill of 20,000 to 25,000 rupees. That is just agonizing after spending all that money. It simply doesn't make sense anymore.
Section 2. Why batteries are essential now. Because the grid can no longer act as a profitable virtual battery for your excess power, having actual physical storage is now an absolutely essential part of any home setup. So how should you spend your budget today? Well, our source provides a highly practical blueprint for that same 1.2 to 1.3 million rupee investment we just talked about. Instead of wasting 1 to 1.5 lakh on a net billing meter application that won't even benefit you, you need to redirect those funds. Step 1, get a solid 6 to 8 kilowatt hybrid inverter, which runs about 3 to 3.25 lakh. Step 2, pair that with 10 kilowatts of solar plates for around 4 lakh. And step 3, take the money you saved by skipping the grid meter and invest it directly into a lithium battery. Now, for roughly the same total budget, you have a powerful hybrid system that actually protects you from those incredibly expensive nighttime grid rates.
But hey, we need a quick reality check here. Social media influencers might claim a single standard battery hybrid system can easily run 3 ACs all night long. If you try that, you'll literally be sweating in the dark within an hour. The practical advice? Run just 1 AC in the house at a sensible 27 or 28 degrees Celsius. If you do that, your lithium battery is going to comfortably last the entire night. Then, simply save up your money and add a second battery to your system next year when you can easily afford it. It's all about staggering your upgrades.
Section 3. Beware of solar market scams.
Now, what's really fascinating about this next point is that whenever a market shifts rapidly and consumers are eager for solutions, scammers inevitably swoop in to target desperate buyers. A massive trend popping up on social media right now is the all-in-one box. Influencers are telling people, hey, you don't need a separate inverter and battery anymore, just buy this single casing. What they casually leave out, though, is that these boxes cram a 6-kilowatt inverter and a massive 15-kilowatt battery into one tiny, poorly ventilated space. Both components generate a lot of heat, which is just a fast track to hardware failure. Worse, these units can weigh up to 250 kilograms. If just the inverter component fails, you literally have to hire a loader to uninstall the entire massive box and send your perfectly good battery away to the repair shop too. It turns out buying your inverter and battery as separate units is just common sense for better cooling and easier maintenance.
And when you're buying that separate inverter, the data shows that checking the IP rating is absolutely crucial. You're going to want to look for an IP65 or IP6 rating. These are built for high durability, they're exceptionally safe, and they boast a nice, long lifespan. Interestingly enough, you will see IP21 inverters on the market that look almost identical and cost exactly half the price. It's super tempting, right? But what I found really eye-opening in the data is that an IP21 inverter has less than half the lifespan of the better models and is highly prone to burning out. It could literally leave you completely stranded in the dark. Always avoid those.
So, the crucial point is that ensuring a safe and durable solar system goes beyond just avoiding those big, bulky combo boxes. It's often the hidden details that cause the biggest headaches. You've got to look out for these major red flags. First up, wiring. Some folks try to save 25,000 rupees by using low-quality wiring. Actually, scratch that. It's more like they're actively setting a trap for themselves because cheap wiring is the #1 cause of system failures. It causes heat, sparks, and will absolutely destroy both your expensive inverter and battery. Second, those direct DC solar fans and ACs you see advertised everywhere, they are mostly pure marketing gimmicks and really aren't feasible for true whole-home backup. Finally, beware of companies offering rock-bottom prices but having terrible after-sales track records. Some of these new fly-by-night brands have an unbelievable 60% failure rate. Once the complaints start piling up, they are definitely just going to close up shop and vanish right when you need a warranty replacement.
Section 4. Looking ahead at the future of backup.
Let's pivot a bit and see how this builds into an exciting look at what's coming next. We've covered the traps, the math, and the scams, but what does the horizon actually look like? Well, the technology in this space is moving incredibly fast. Right now, lithium batteries are the expensive standard. However, our source points to a massive game changer that is expected to hit the market late this year: sodium batteries. Because they're salt-based rather than relying on pricey lithium, they are significantly cheaper to produce. Once importers bring them in and market competition really kicks off by the end of the year, we can expect the cost of home energy storage to drop considerably. This is for sure an exciting development to watch out for if you're planning to upgrade your battery bank down the line.
And finally, as one myth dies, another trend takes its place. The latest buzzword echoing through the market right now is rooftop windmills. People are being told they can just stick a small turbine on their roof and generate free power from the wind to supplement their solar. Sounds amazing, right? But considering everything we just uncovered about marketing gimmicks and heavy-handed sales tactics, we really have to ask ourselves, are these local rooftop windmills truly the ultimate nighttime backup solution we've all been waiting for? Or are they just the newest, highly expensive market gimmick designed to part you from your hard-earned money? We will definitely be keeping a very close eye on the data for that one. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Stay informed out there, and I will see you next time.